Hey everyone, my name is Erin James, and this is a review of the movie No Disrespect, written by DeMarcus Curry, Miles Triplett, and Cameron Barker. It is directed by Miles Triplett, who also stars as one of the leads, if not the lead in this movie. It is about, let me see if I remember, three brothers, or actually a family, who are involved in running the drug game, running the streets, or at least a part of their city, and their father, who had been locked up for over a decade, who at one time was the guy, the big man. He finally gets out and wants to reclaim that title, even though during that time, his three sons, particularly one named Milk, were the big dogs now, and they're in charge. And after a decade of being in charge, all of a sudden someone comes in and wants to reclaim the throne that you've pretty much helped build up, if not made bigger. This movie had quite a few elements of Friday and quite a bit of scary movie in it, with making fun at least one specific scene of another movie, Wanted. It was unexpected and it was humorous. There were action elements. I would say this is more of an action comedy than a drama. It is labeled as such, but it clearly has comedic elements that were not at all subtle and made this movie much more entertaining. I would say the major issue that I have with this movie is that the tonal shifts are so dramatic or so strong that it is a bit jarring, and I end up being confused and then entertained again. It is more the dramatic scenes and dramatic sequences I think the movie suffers most, particularly with the dialogue. It kind of falls flat. And I would say the actors, particularly the three lead actors, the three brothers, are probably the weakest parts of this movie. I think a lot of the side actors or supporting actors carried this movie quite a bit. Now, when it comes to the comedic scenes that also were implemented into a couple of their action sequences, those were executed very well. We have to give props to Kaylin Cooper as Brittany, not Brittany, and Kenneth Wilder as TJ, who were able to deliver their lines so well, really good comedic timing, and just them on screen. Kaylin Cooper, really good with face acting and how she reacted to what other characters did or said, was very well done. And Kenneth Wilder as TJ, his comedy was very well done. I think that them two in a more predominant role or even leading together, I think that would help deliver a much better story or much better film. And I want to note that no one necessarily in this movie I would get rid of. Again, the story is very good. So DeMarcus Curry and Cameron Barker and Miles Triplett, I would love to see them work together again, make another story, and I would love to see their evolution into better filmmakers. There is so much potential in this story that it is something I would recommend to people. This is a low budget film, so there are certain things that I feel would be unfair to critique or comment on. So, as far as what I feel that they were able to control with their budget, I would say things to improve would be particularly the directing and the dialogue. Maybe some cinematography or color grading could be worked on a bit, but I mean, usually the biggest thing for me is the performances and how it is directed. So cinematography, I guess, would be third, or not considered, would be a low priority in my opinion. Still, this is a concept we do not see often, and I really appreciated that. A part of it reminded me of Four Brothers, which I am surprised no one has tried to recreate that idea or concept in something, considering they try to make the bad stuff work and try to emulate and imitate other movies, and those end up being terribly wrong. This movie did very well at bringing us something fresh, or rather innovative, of something we have seen before but not done in this way, and I really appreciated that. This team clearly knows or recognizes that they have something, and I hope that I can see them work on something again in the future. Shoot, they filmed here in Atlanta. I would hope to run into them sometime, because there's someone to look out for. Aren't of you into Tubi? Do y'all take the time to watch movies that could be hit or miss, right? You do find some gems in there. You do find films that you really appreciate. You find movies that are pretty bad, but they're fun to watch because you laugh at them and you start seeing some potential that they missed out on or they were blinded to. Or you think about, well, if they were able to get this on Tubi, maybe I can do it. So maybe it's inspiration for some of you. Anyway, until next time, y'all take care of each other. Check up on one another. Be sure to check up on yourself. And remember, potential has no limit. Tubi has been dropping a few pretty good movies recently, so I think they're becoming aware of what they have.